Bam! Welcome back to my turning board. And you know what would make this turning board even better? No, it's not toast this time. It's easier than that. There's not much of a surprise since it's in the title and thumbnail. Today we're making a simple, fail-proof chocolate lava cake. This is based off a recipe from Binging with Babish, which was based off of Chef the movie. There's a link down below to Binging with Babish's recipe. So this has two parts, ganache and a cake batter. Let's start the ganache by chopping up a dark chocolate bar and adding a bit more to total 4 ounces. You want to chop this fine so it melts easier. Then let's measure out 4 ounces of heavy cream, which is about half a cup. The key is to have 1:1. Normally at this point you would whip out your fancy smancy double boiler to melt this all together, but we're going to make this simple so anyone can do it. Pop your cream into the microwave for 15 seconds. Take it out and add your crushed chocolate. Mix till the chocolate won't melt any further, and then pop it back in for 5 seconds. Repeat, stirring well every time until you have something like this that is smooth and the chocolate is melted through. Take this very slow. The point of the double boiler is to prevent burnt and ruined chocolate. I hear if you do this well, the chocolate can even come out tempered. Further testing is required. Pop this in the freezer until we need it. Next comes the cake batter. Let's measure out 10 ounces of chocolate. I only had milk chocolate on hand, so let's mix it up a bit. Toss in a stick and a half of butter, or a bit more than 5 ounces. And again, you could use a double boiler, but the same microwave trick will work just as well. Go slow, be patient, go until it is totally smooth, like this. Next, let's make the other half of the batter, the egg mix. Crack 6 eggs into a plastic bowl, since you ran out of glass ones big enough. Toss in half a cup of brown sugar and beat till light and frothy. Add a little bit of vanilla, since it makes everything better. Now we would normally add the chocolate mix in very carefully and slowly, as to not scramble our eggs, but since we melted this so carefully, it should be fairly cool. But better safe than sorry, I added a third in, mixed, added a half, mixed, and then added the rest, mixing till totally combined. Add 6 tablespoons of flour and beat that in as well. We will prepare our ramekins with a layer of butter, then coating with sugar, rotating to cover all sides. If you don't have ramekins, you have 2 choices. I got these small blue ones from a package of frozen lava cakes, so check your grocery store. But even easier, I'm convinced a cupcake pan could work for this. Just how we made the tout de monde, prepping the same way. Just check more often as the edges will burn quicker. Add a dollop of the batter to the bottom, followed by a spoonful or 2 of ganache, and fill nearly to the top. I had a bit too much, causing them to rise a bit above, but hey, more cake is more good. Bake in an oven for 11 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the hard part with these little cakes. It's hard to guess when it's done, but because of that ganache center, it's always going to have liquid, so there is no risk of overdoing these. Let's upgrade these with 2 quick additions. First is a simple whipped cream, and no, don't use that canned stuff. Whipped cream couldn't be easier. Take the rest of your cream, or about a cup, and either some elbow grease or an electric mixer. Mix till light and fluffy. Add a dash of vanilla because it makes everything better, and a spoonful or 2 of sugar and whip to combine. Second, let's make a quick peanut butter sauce. Melt a bit of butter, maybe 2 tablespoons, adding 2 heaping spoonfuls of peanut butter. Once these are melted, add a dash of vanilla because it makes everything better, add a pinch of salt, and bam, you've got your sauce. You could add a bit of sugar if you want this to be really sweet, but I prefer to have a salty sweet wombo combo. Pull out your cakes and leave them to cool for just a bit. Go around the edge with a knife before attempting to flip onto a plate. If the bottom, now the top, doesn't come out, that's where the whipped cream comes in to save the day. Add a dollop and smooth it out to look nice. If it does work, you can leave it plain and add just a dash of powdered sugar to the top. Next, let's add some sauce. Drizzle it over the top, going in the same direction on both the cake and the plate to make it look all fancy like. You can serve this with anything you like, other options being fruit like berries, ice cream, or you could even melt the leftover ganache and pour it over the top. If you don't want to risk the flip onto the plate, you can just solve them in the ramekin, it looks just as good. The only thing you'll lose is that classic messy chocolate runout on the first bite. The ganache is your secret weapon. There's no risk of the center being completely cut through and just being a glorified cupcake. Here, my cakes were a little underdone, but it won't ruin anything. These were the perfect combination of dark chocolate from the ganache, creaminess from the whipped cream, and salty from the sauce. So there you have it, a perfect, simple, amazing chocolate lava cake. Try it yourself and make it how you want. These won't be the last time we do something like this, so subscribe to see what I do next. I know you won't be disappointed. Also, here are some hand-picked videos that I know you'll like. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it.